Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by to watch another video here at All I See Is W, where we talk about finance, stocks, and Bitcoin. Today, I wanted to cover my assessment on a big time Titan company that is MicroStrategy, ticker MSTR. We've heard so much about Bitcoin over the many months and weeks now, and with Bitcoin reaching an all-time high, hovering at 108,000 per Bitcoin. That really sets the stage for big time companies like MSTR, especially with MSTR recently just acquiring a number of Bitcoin, adding more Bitcoin to their balance sheet, and just recently getting into the Nasdaq 100. What does this mean for all retail investors, including financial institutions? Is now a great opportunity to buy MSTR, hold, or sell? Congratulations to those who are invested in MSTR. This company has been the leading workhorse, in fact, outperforming all the S&P 500 companies in 2024. And will we continue to see the same performance heading into the new year? The fact that Bitcoin price is going so high right now, we can see similar performance just like how we see it with Nvidia in the AI space. But given that MSTR is the titan of the industry right now, having so much Bitcoin on their balance sheet, I think there's potential for MSTR to continue to grow, especially now that there is a paradigm shift with how we look at passive investing. So when you think about it, Vanguard founder Jack Bogle, he created the whole strategy around passive investing where folks who work in the United States, for example, invest a portion of their paycheck into their 401k or Roth. That's through passive investing, buying index funds like the S&P 500, Nasdaq 100. The fact that MSTR will be part of the Nasdaq 100 and potentially in the future in the S&P 500, that just tells you that at one point in a couple days, weeks, you're going to have average investors perform passive investing into companies like MSTR. So technically, you are acquiring Bitcoin. So this strategy that MSTR has just implemented, think of Bitcoin as like the medicine that you need to take, while MSTR, the company, is the cheese. So you'll wrap the cheese around the medicine. For example, when you're feeding your pet, that's the analogy that I would look at it. And this is going to be so effective, and this is going to be the paradigm shift. And I believe this is why MicroStrategy has the potential to continue bull running into 2025. Now, let's begin, guys. First off, I wanted to just cover the overall technicals with MSTR. So, current state as of today, we saw that the price did drop quite a bit here at like single digits, 5%. Current state at $386 per share. We've seen just in 2024 alone, I mean, it ramped up significantly from like 56 all the way up at one point to all-time high $545. And with the Citron news, the shorting that occurred several weeks back, current price is at 386. The fact that we saw it drop off like by 20-30%, I think that we're beginning to see a support level established. The fact that the price is above the Ichimoku clouds here, think of the Ichimoku clouds as the gravitational pull down. If you have the cloud above the actual price range, that's really going to pull down the price from a technical analysis standpoint. But just looking at it through the lens of whether MicroStrategy has the potential to make that breakthrough hovering up, I think that it can get up to about the $600 range, which is what I'm forecasting as we head into a January timeframe. So that's my forecast from a near-term perspective because MSTR has shifted passive investing. Now, also putting Bitcoin to the precipice in passive investing, changing the dynamics with ETFs now joining the big boys in the QQQ index fund. That really changes the game here. And now people who aren't hedging on Bitcoin, they now are actually owning Bitcoin when you think about it. So that just changes everything. Just going through the news here, adoption of strategic reserves by the United States. There's forecasts that Bitcoin can go in break through $500,000 in the near term, given the fact that if US selects Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, that could really ramp things up. We know that Bitcoin is a digital asset commodity that's scarce. You can't manufacture more Bitcoin, similar to like the United States printing a dollar with inflation. That can't happen with Bitcoin. There's only about less than 2 million Bitcoins available remaining for you to either buy or mine right now. And I think come President-elect Trump's inauguration, once he sets a clear pathway on how the United States will execute on its Bitcoin strategic reserve, I think that's really going to push forward the rise in the Bitcoin price. My forecast is that come December, January, we're going to see Bitcoin break through that $150,000 range. And especially with all the news going around with bills proposing strategic assetization of Bitcoin, that's being suggested in states like Texas and Ohio. So I think there's just so much sentiment going on right now, especially with Donald Trump as an advocate for Bitcoin. We're going to see executive orders coming out very soon here. So that's going to be very exciting. Just to share with you, MSTR's addition to Nasdaq 100 may pave way for S&P inclusion benchmark at one point. So just what Michael Saylor is doing right now, he's the leading pioneer, and that's why MSTR is the titan of all the Bitcoin companies right now, having more than 400,000 Bitcoins on their balance sheet. So his incentive is as there's as the company attracts more investors through passive investing in 401k or even acquiring shares of MSTR, the company is going to continue to buy Bitcoin, and that's what they'll continue to do, create that disparity, be the number one company that holds on to the most Bitcoin, and that's what MSTR will continue to do as their business model. But just getting into NASDAQ 100 QQQ, that just will then have all these billionaires at one point report to the SEC that they own Bitcoin. Believers who didn't really believe in Bitcoin at one point. But this is huge news, a big time milestone for MSTR here with this big deal getting into NASDAQ 100. And like what I mentioned, MSTR, they've outperformed mainly all the companies in the S&P 500. So there's going to be bigger opportunities that's to come when this gets announced, where MicroStrategy enters the Nasdaq 100, 2 days before Christmas holiday. Just to share with you additional news here from today that MSTR's market cap is going to surpass Starbucks and Nike if Bitcoin reaches 138,000. So that's coming up very soon. And we see this correlated with the market cap of Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin will eventually soon break beyond the market cap of like Amazon, Google, Nvidia. I think all of that's going to be coming because of the high popularity with Bitcoin being the digital commodity asset that is not going away. And that is resulting in MSTR's market cap to continue to skyrocket. I think just overall, MSTR's fully diluted value is $114 billion. And I think that it's only just going to increase as the price of Bitcoin starts going up even further. Currently, market cap of Starbucks and Nike is at around 105 billion. So I think Bitcoin is going to just surpass like Google. all those high-end companies, and that's going to also allow for MicroStrategy to make those leaps as well to bypass big companies like Starbucks and Nike at one point. So just overall, big news here that we've seen with MSTR, and just looking at the overall principles here, I just wanted to share with you Q3 announcement with some information from MicroStrategy's SharePoint here. So their overall principle is to continue buying and holding Bitcoin indefinitely, prioritize the common stock as a long-term value creation, which we see the overall share price in 2024 be the workhorse, and there's potential for MSTR to continue to make that run, and just treating all investors with respect, consistency, and transparency, and structure MSTR to outperform Bitcoin. The question is, will MSTR outperform Bitcoin over the course of 2025? We'll have to see. And just with their overall business model is to continue to get more investors believe in MSTR, and what they'll do is continue to buy Bitcoin, build on their balance sheet to continue growing rapidly, gaining on the global trust and respect, and build on its market cap, and at one point enter the S&P 500. Continue innovative fixed income securities backed by Bitcoin, and also just maintaining a healthy, robust, pristine balance sheet and promoting global adoption of Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. So we know that there's going to be eventually government contracts that may come out, whether that be with MSTR, other companies like Bitcoin miners like Marathon Digital and Riot Platform, other big HODL Bitcoin miners that have that same approach of acquiring Bitcoin. So I think there's just so much changes in the dynamics for how we invest. And I think that with MSTR, current price at 386, I do think that it can 1 to 2x as we head into the new year. So that's my analysis, and I hope you found this valuable. I'd love to hear what your comments and questions are down below. Thank you.